Hello, everyone. Welcome to another book review with me. Today, I'm really happy and excited to be reviewing this book called Leonardo da Vinci, written by Walter Isaacson. Now, Leonardo da Vinci, as many of us know, he was an artist. He was involved in the Renaissance, of mankind in some centuries ago, and he was really one of the pivotal people who were involved in reshaping, the modern world. So I really was excited about reading the book. I couldn't wait to start reading it. Haven't purchased it a while ago, and then as I just started, I was just like firing on, enjoying my read until I think I hit a crescendo, because then Walter Isaacson was detailing his work on molding of horses and some of his artistic work, and there was so much detail on it that I didn't care about, so I think I got bored of reading. But good thing I set it down, and then I read several other books in between, and then by the time I came back to it, I was raring to go. I was really raring to go, and the excitement came back again. So for some of you who maybe hit a crescendo when you read a book, a lengthy book at that, it's always okay to set it aside for a season and then go off to other things and then come back. Perhaps by then, the ginger would have come again, and then you would enjoy it rather than forcing your way through it like I used to do before now. So, and then when getting back to it, I really had a lovely time learning about his life, learning about his challenges, learning about his resilience, yes, and learning about how he was powering through the different phases of his life. Now, in learning, what I learned about Leonardo da Vinci's life is his zest for life and his relentlessness towards going after whatever he was curious about. He was a really highly curious person, and that is another person whose biography I'm reading who was really a curious human being. Another person was Einstein. Yeah, Einstein was a highly curious, and he encourages us to be curious. So that Leonardo da Vinci also was a highly curious person. He always chased his curiosity. It didn't matter whether he didn't know anything about it. He always ensured that he did his own research. He will go on to research. Now, he's known as an artist, but he was so many other things than being a painter or a sculptor. He studied anatomy, so he did a lot of self-studying. So he didn't have formal education or go to a traditional school in his days, but he taught himself a lot of the things that he knows. And then he would also collaborate and have people teach him the things that he was curious about that he didn't know anything about. He learned about geometry. He wasn't very good at math, so he made up for his deficiencies in math through the use of shapes and geometry. He was really he was curious about the human body, so he was an anatomist at a season in his life. He would go and dissect cadavers, that's dead bodies, to know how the muscles and the bones and how all of them gel to improve his artistic skills. Fantastic fantastic man. He was also curious about engineering, and so he would innovate things by himself. He would have drawings in his book. Some of them he never really actually brought to life, but he was really curious about them, and he would go after seeking knowledge on how to improve his ideas in engineering, his ideas in architecture, his ideas in theater. So he was also involved in pageantry and in theater production. So, and he would innovate things, for that. It was really fascinating to read about his life and how he didn't allow anything to hold him back. He didn't allow his lack of expertise or knowledge in any area to hold him back. He would just go on seeking for knowledge, whatever way. He would self-learn. He was he was self-directed. He would teach himself. He would seek knowledge from other people. He would read books about the topics he was interested in, whether it had anything to do with art or not. And that really made him an excellent painter. Um, Another thing I learned about him from him, and I thought was fantastic, was his ability, not to shortchange himself or make himself small. So in all of these things, he would call himself an engineer, he call himself an architect, he'll call himself an inventor. He will seek for positions and projects and jobs, with the ruling body, party, king, or political powers that be in his time. He really didn't see himself. He didn't take himself small. He knew he was good at whatever he did. And even in the areas where he didn't have experience, he felt that his knowledge was enough, and he would ask for opportunities to do those things. And another thing that I really did learn from him was the fact that he, even though painting was what made him known, he didn't box himself into that area. And then at a point, he really was not so focused in his paintings anyway. And there was something that he was notorious about. There was something notorious about him. He was known as someone who would usually not finish most of the paintings that he was commissioned to do. And why was that? Because he was always curious about other things, and he would chase those things and leave them. So he would always get into trouble about things that, or arts, or things that he was paintings that he was commissioned to do that he never finished. However, the ones that he did finish, like the Mona Lisa, the Last Supper, the something Virgin on the Rocks, the one with an Amy, he did other acts that he finished and he perfected, and they made him like a world-renowned painter. Even in his time, he was known as one of, or maybe the best painter of his time. But he didn't churn out so many paintings that were known, but he was also known for the other things that he did. I particularly was endeared to the anatomical drawings that he made. He was known as the first during his time and his period to make such vivid anatomical drawings of the muscles of the skull, of the muscles of the spine, the spinal cord, of the womb, of the baby in the womb. He really did phenomenal things. And you could see that the way he was curious about other things in life and how he applied it to his paintings and his artistic prowess, it made him excellent at it, because the details showed in his paintings, and perhaps that's one of the reasons why he's known as an excellent a Renaissance man. And that takes me back to today. They say that for you to be very good at what you are doing, you shouldn't be limited to one area of life. So for instance, as a medical doctor, I shouldn't be restricted to just medicine. I should learn about the arts, I should learn about music, I should learn about fashion, because all of it just really helps to solidify who you are. So a lot of lessons to be learned that I learned and I gleaned from reading this book and learning about the life of Leonardo Da Vinci. So it's a book that I highly, highly, highly recommend. Yeah, you really should read this. You would learn a lot about life, and growth, and not and learning to just allow yourself to enjoy life, and to allow yourself to be curious and follow your curiosity from time to time. So this was a really, really, really good read to me. I think it has enriched my life, and I hope to imbibe the things that I have learned. So what are you reading? Are you reading anything new? Are you learning anything new? Till I see you again, keep reading and keep learning something new. Goodbye.